Hello. I hope this is working. This has been a huge pain to set up this morning. Okay. We're not at the office. We're not doing deck writer stuff. It's all just a giant nightmare. Okay. Let's go over some things. So,
what time do you call this young man? At end of line.
I call it, I have already driven to the office and back today, o'clock. Okay?
That Dreamcast Cheer 100. End of line.
Yeah. I would say guess which one of these is the one I retrobrighted, but it's actually not the one that's the worst looking. Okay, here's the deal. This currently contains the print head for the Deck Writer 3. Okay?
End of line.
I'll get to all that in a moment. This...
Cheer 101. End of line.
This solenoid will not come out under any circumstances. I have tried everything. All right, one of the solenoid pins is kind of trapped in the wires. Okay, there we go. So as a last ditch effort, all right, I have ordered flared nut pliers, flared nut wrenches. Okay, so a normal wrench goes out like that. A flared one bends in and then has a slot cut in the back, kind of like a box wrench, but with a slot in the back. So the idea is going to be to get it over this and then down onto that, because if you can see, I keep not being able to focus. Here we go. I keep rounding off the nut on there every time I try and get a standard wrench onto it, and that's going to destroy it, and then I won't be able to ever get it off.
They subscribed for 12 months. Laura says, I have ordered a new wrench and a box of swears. End of line.
So that's part one, is getting the box wrench. Part two is that the height between the nut and the solenoid is so short that no wrench ever sold is going to fit. So I'm going to have to grind the wrench down to be thinner to get it to slide between the nut and the solenoid, to get it onto there, to try and get it to fit. Now, I did not realize that I could buy one of these for a non-stupid price this morning, or else I would have, but pretty much no matter what, I don't think this was going to work out today, because I had to drive to the office to get the print head, to bring it home where a bench grinder is that will allow me to grind a wrench down to be thin enough to get it onto there. So we kind of got delayed today. Now, the wrench that I'm getting will be delivered this evening to my house, and then tomorrow morning I will grind it down. So as a workaround or alternative task for today, as is patently obvious. Oh, cool. I forgot to switch the, you know what, whatever, I don't care. Dreamcast. We're doing Dreamcast. We're gonna work on Dreamcast. Yeah, so the whole camera management here is gonna suck today. We'll Oh, all right. Let me cover everything that has happened here. Okay. I hopefully this is everyone because I can't go back farther. Chloe, thank you for the 100 bits. Ben, thank you for the 100 bits. Didiopis, thank you for the 100 bits. Swarm, thank you for the 101 bits. Prophecy 90, thank you for the tier 1 sub and for 12 months there. I appreciate that. And Chloe, thank you for the 100 bits. Okay. Just needed to push through the intro to explain exactly what we have going on, but only kind of because now the wrench, the thing is gone. Anyway, there's like, let's say there's this much space between the nut and the solenoid. Every wrench sold is like that thick, so I'm gonna have to grind it down to be able to get it to fit. So I'm a little bit peaky. Thank you. I'm just feeling a bit better today. Anyway. Good job, phone. I definitely wanted you to focus on the microphone instead. Okay. Let's go over exactly what it is we are doing today. So this is a Sega Dreamcast, and that one is actually, boop, that one's running right now. So that's this one. Look, it's casting dreams. Whoa, crazy. Who could have believed it? Okay. So that's a working Dreamcast right there, okay? I don't know how many of these are going to work. So here's the thing. This is the Retro Bright Dreamcast. It works now. All right. So that one started out having some issues. You know what? I'm just going to really quick here. I think this might make more sense. Boop. There we go. This light here is blocking the light on that side. Okay, so this is the Retro Bright Dreamcast, and it didn't work initially, but then I just cleaned the laser, and it was fine. There's also this thing where you can tune the lasers to output more power or something, and then they work better, but I'm wondering how much of it's just going to be dirty lasers. So this is a white lens cloth, and that was what was on the laser. I didn't know that was going to come off, or else I wouldn't have used this. So today we have a pile of thin paper towels, some dish soap, and water and Q-tips, and we're going to try and clean all the lasers. But the other aspect of this
says Tier 103
is this.
Smoker's house. End of line.
Maybe. I don't know. We're going to recap the power supply of 2 Dreamcasts. All right. Why are we doing that? Because if this all goes unbelievably smoothly, I have other goodies to put in there. So these are 5-volt Noctua fans, which probably won't fit without 3D printing a thing. I don't know exactly how that works. And then these are I'm a good boy optical drive adapters, let's call them, so that I can make the world's most future-proof Dreamcast. That's my goal. Because if some of these do have bad lasers, it would be nice to fix that. So, that's what we're doing today. We're going to recap 2 power supplies. We're going to replace 2 optical drives, maybe. The goal here is mostly to try and get as many optical drives working as possible. And then we'll see if it's really easy to swap out the fan. I don't know if it actually is. So, is that 9 Dreamcasts? Yes, it is. Now, before you guys think I'm insane, here's why I have 9 Sega Dreamcasts, okay? It's a very, very short story. Let me move this so my hair can stop bumping it. Okay. So when I was doing thrifting, okay, and it was the past, back when Dreamcast would still end up at thrift stores, the optical drives were already starting to show signs of failure, okay? So the problems were known then. So I had a very simple rule. If I found a Sega Dreamcast at a thrift store for less than $20, I bought it. All right, that one's $35, but it also came with a bunch of cool stuff. Okay, so sometimes the value is a little bit difficult to complicate or calculate, but the goal was always $20 Dreamcasts so that I could have Dreamcasts forever, because I really, really, really like the Sega Dreamcast, okay? So, yeah, hopefully that explains that. So, I want to make at least one immortal one. I'm actually going to give one to a family member. That's why we're doing two today, so that they have an immortal one. So I'm going to drop from 9 Sega Dreamcasts down to 8. I know it's gonna be such a hardship, but it's the right thing to do. So yeah, that's why we're recapping 2 power supplies, and I have 2 GD emus and 2 fans. So yeah, that's the goal. So do I like Sonic Shuffle? Sonic Shuffle is okay. It's weird. But I don't really like Mario Party either, so. All right. So here's the deal. You saw that I'm video capturing this one, all right? So I'm doing that over VGA capture through the RetroTink 4K and all the other fun nonsense. So that's running in the background. There's cables plugged into this Dreamcast, which obviously works. So this one, we're going to yoink, and we're going to focus on the others. Now, every single one of these Dreamcasts are actually... aside from these 2, every single other one is a VA1. So these 2 are VA2, so they are exempt from the GD EMU. So only these ones are candidates.
End of line.
See, don't they replace optical card, SD reader or something nowadays? Robert? Yes. That's one of the objectives if we have enough time. Why are those exempt incompatibility? Yeah, so the VA2s have a cost-reduced optical drive assembly, and some of the brains that were on the optical transport are now on the motherboard, so what signals are sent to and from are just different. Okay, now the person who I'm going to give a Dreamcast to actually has a VA0, which could work with some modifications, but I feel like a North American VA0 should be revered, so we're not going to touch that one. All right, so let's unpile the Dreamcast. Let's go over these one at a time just to confirm. Okay, that is VA1. I'm going to put the VA1s in a pile. This is... VA1. By the way, none of these have a Ethernet adapter, because that would be too nice. I own 9 Sega Dreamcasts, 0 Ethernet adapters. VA1. This one should be VA2. Yep, VA2. So the little number here next to the NTSC part's how you know whether or not it's VA1 or VA2. Again, this is the Retro Bright one. I will demonstrate that this one works before we shove it away. This is VA1, and you can see it came with 5 things, so that's why it passed, even though it's $35. And I need to get one of those ODEs. Mine still has the crunchy original optical drive. Okay, I am actually going to be sad that it stops making the Dreamcast optical drive sounds. Like, genuinely, like, I know people were like, oh, I want the floppy drive sound emulation. No, the only sound that matters is the Sega Dreamcast hacksawing away at your optical discs, which is utterly fantastic. If you never experienced that, there's no way I can explain it. Ooh, that's a spicy one right there. There's no way I can explain it to where it will make sense. That's a VA1. All right. This is VA1. And this is VA1. Okay. So all of those are VA1s, and then this was the one that was on. It is a VA2. So let's just real quick swap out the stuff. Oh, there wasn't even a disc in there. I did not realize that. Okay, the VA2s, like I mentioned, do not get anything done to them today. The VA2s actually have the same power supply as the VA1. The VA0's power supply is different, it turns out. Alrighty. Okay, there is the Dreamcast powering up. I will put a disc in it to demonstrate that that works. Yoink. The Adventure of Sonic. VA2 also doesn't support mill CDs. What do you mean mill CDs? Yo, play the game. Mill CDs, what's used for booting burnt games. Watch and learn. It's a special interactive CD format. Very nice exploit to use mill CD things. You can circumvent copy protection. So there it is, playing Sonic Adventure. All right, so that works. Here's the 240p test suite. Hey. You use the CRT in the background, it looks sick. Oh. All right, there it is, showing 240p test suite. I realized how much my DVS 510 was noisy. All right, 1 second.
84 Raiders from Black Simon have joined. End of line.
Black Simon and Raiders, hello and welcome. Today we are looking at repairing and restoring Sega Dreamcast. So this is a Dreamcast VA2 that is currently booting the 240p test suite disc here, just to demonstrate that not all VA2s are incapable of reading CDRs. So we're going to be going through a pile of 9 total Sega Dreamcasts to verify that they all work. And then we're going to recap the power supplies of 2 of them here today and ensure that they can live forever. And if I find some that have bad optical drives, I have a repair solution, let's call it, for that as well here. So yeah, we're going through Sega Dreamcasts today to try and get them up and running. Let me try a thing here really quick. If I do this, no. Well, that's curious. So the Dreamcast could show on there, possibly if I plugged it into my normal Dreamcast input over there, it would work fine. The whole, oh, I know what it is. There we go. I lost power, which, why is that so flickery? I think the HDMI adapter does not like the stupid fake scan lines. Let me just try something real quick. You have an Extron set up there? See, more sick. Yeah, so it's a whole complicated setup. There we go. That looks a lot better. So here is a totally legit disc. This might need the Utopia disc. I mean, I don't know anything about the Utopia disc. Oh, there's the sound. See, what were you guys talking about with VA2s? Oh my gosh, those sounds. Those are the sounds of good times right there. Hold on. Listen. Okay, hold on. I'm just gonna restart this so you can hear it. Why does it make those sounds? What are they? Should it make them? I love the Dreamcast sound. I had not known it would probably... Had I not known about it, I'd probably yank the power cord. I think that would be a very fair reaction. Mute the capture for now? I can do that later. Anyway, Toy Commander's an absolutely incredible game, by the way. Thought it was... The drive was broken. Actually, it was. It had a cracked gear. Interesting. Grinding sounds likely small gear broke and it's louder than it should be. No, they were like that from the beginning. They were always like that. Anyway, so that's the VA2 Retrobrite Dreamcast running a disc like that. So yeah, that's fine. So anyway, this one's not a candidate for optical drive replacement, and it works. And I've already kind of been through it, and I don't want to show the crimes that it took to get it back together after it was disassembled for a decade, so we're not going to look at the VA2s today. Is this noise normal? Yeah. I mean, I really think that that's fair. It's a very horrifying noise. Alright. I did not leave a disc in there. Alright, so that is the two VA2s off to the side now. Let's grab a random VA1 and start to assess the condition of all of my Dreamcasts. Alright, if they have an issue, we will number them and write what the symptoms were. Okay, power button feels good. I think one of these might have like a sticky power button, unfortunately. That looks pristine. Did you retrobrite that? No, through the power of buying 9 of them, I get to pick which one came from the most ideal production batch. Okay. Boop, there we go. This is not a gaming stream. No, it is not. No, we're running Windows CE computers. What are you talking about? That's all we're doing today. Alright, I'm going to turn off the CRT because we don't actually need it. By the way, that setup is extremely cursed. So, the Dreamcast is outputting VGA, which, surprise, a television from 1981 can't display. So, it goes through an Extron RGB crosspoint switch. Then it goes into an Extron DBS 510, which can take VGA and convert that into HDMI. That then goes to an Extron IN1606, which has 2 outputs, one of which goes to an HDMI to S-video adapter. That S-video adapter goes back into the Extron crosspoint switch, which then routes out to an SVHS VCR to convert the S-video to RF to display on the CRT. Holy latency, it's perfect. Most of that's analog. VA1, VA2, just different revisions? Yes. Why? How else am I going to get pixel perfect capture over VGA of a Dreamcast, but also display it on my RF only television? Anyway, so far this is looking good. So it boots into the menu, so the power supply is okay-ish. Let's pop a disc in and see what happens. Dreamcast Ethernet app, blah, 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 chip, and you have stacks of those? Yeah, but I feel like it's going to be a little difficult for me to plug that in somehow over ISA. Or PCI.
Schneid subscribed at Tier 1. They've subscribed for 35 months, currently on a 35-month streak. And says introducing Pantone Color of the Year 2026, Pantone 114202 Dreamcaster. End of line.
Schmide, thank you for the Tier 1 sub and for 35 months. That was a fantastic joke. For those of you who don't know, Pantone, for some reason, feels the need to dedicate a color to the year, and the color this year was basically white. It was just slightly off-white. You know what would probably be smart? Not playing Crush 40 on stream. That's great. That was fantastic. Someone needs to get official adapter redraw. That's still Crush 40 on stream. There we go. And then it just starts playing again. Alright, that's probably better, though. Okay. This might be the only stream that gets DMCA'd ever. Hold on. Fingernails got caught on something. It's driving me crazy. Okay, so that's working. We'll just make a pile for functional Dreamcasts. Is there a rights issue with Crush 40? Yes. Dreamcast was so ahead of its time. I do not disagree. Dreamcast is just so good. Alright. I'm gonna put functional Dreamcasts towards the stuff over there. Dude, there's so many good games. Oh my gosh. I mean, just like Sega Bass Fishing, absolutely fantastic. I don't know, that's some fighter game. We have Wave Race at home. Tetris, web browser, other web browser. Magforce Racing is really good. Don't say the words to we can do the thing. Arcade ports, absolutely. Actually, this game is way better than you would ever think it would be. We got Genesis at home, and then other more different web browser. I don't own the Dreamcast keyboard, by the way. I always thought it seemed like a really dumb accessory to. And then I don't have the, like, you know, Ethernet adapter, so couldn't really do it anyway. Dreamcast extension cable? Oh, sweet. All right, pop in the next one. They have it Bookman's? Yeah, but isn't it like $50 now or something? I used to pass on when they were like $5 because I still didn't care. Oh, wow, I can play Quake 3 in the same way I could play it on PC. Amazing. 80! Oh my gosh. Speaking of web browser. Ah, that's funny. Which was cheaper, Dreamcast or Web TV? I mean, if you mean for the ones that I've bought, I've spent more money on Dreamcast because I own 9 of them. So. $1? Nice. Alright, so our next Dreamcast here. But what if we did pip and picture through the Extron as well? So, the problem with pip through the Extron is that you can do it with a high resolution source and a low resolution source. So if I used the S-Video version of the Dreamcast, we could route it through the Extron and then pip it in hardware, but I'm using the Extron for the VGA to HDMI conversion, so we can't. I would need a different Extron. No, Half-Life Dreamcast is a modern abomination. It's not real. All right. This one boots. Let's pop Sonic Adventure in. More Extrons. I really do want an HDMI crosspoint switch. But the cheapest ones I could find are like 150 bucks, and I'm just not ready to plunk that money down for it. How are we 4 for 4 on GD-ROMs working? What are the common problems with the Dreamcast? It's not really familiar. The optical drives act very weird, and they don't work well. You know, maybe I should use like any other game than the one that's gonna like instantly DMCA. But that's working. The Sonic Adventure's so good! All right, Namco Museum. That one won't DMCA. Oh, this one. Fan on this one ain't doing so hot. It's spinning, but it is loud. Okay. That's the first one I am not thrilled with. It is working, but...
with Prime. They've subscribed for 41 months, currently on a 41-month streak, and says end of line. End of line.
Card 1443, thank you for the tier, oh, the Prime sub, and for 41, that's so many months, 8, 41 months, I appreciate that. The fan is supposed to cool, not hot. Yeah, remember Noctua replacements? I can. We're just finding the right combination of ones to do today for that. Yeah, you remember the Data General Micronova fans? Sometimes fans do a little more heating than they do cooling. Actually, the ceiling fan in here is working on that too. It's really annoying. I got to figure out how I'm going to solve that. I don't know if I want a different ceiling fan so that I can have different light fixtures that are better for the home streams, or if I want to just replace the bearings, which requires removing the fan so you can see what size the bearings are, which is really stupid. Okay, let's note this one loud fan. Works. Man, you know what doesn't work? This Sharpie. That's a silver Sharpie. It's optical drive emulators for those? Yep. Fan is loud. All right. So this is currently our leading candidate for restoration. Let's continue on, though. So Dark Shadow Silver, I don't know if you were here at the start of the stream. I have 9 of these. We're going to recap the power supplies of 2 of them, and we're going to try and get as many lasers working today as possible. So I'm going through and trying to see which ones may or may not have bad lasers. If they all have working lasers, that would be insane. But then I will just pick the ones that need the most work to revitalize, because I have 2 Noctua fans, and I have 2 GD Emu kits, so that I can refurb these. You gonna retrobrite them? Well, I mean, I don't think this one needs it. That's not just phone white balance stuff. That one just looks like that. Fixed floppy drive today? Run at 850 RPM due to leaky caps. Wow. And yeah, Chloe is right as well. All right. Looking good so far. One of these is going to have a dead drive. I mean, come on. Fan's a little loud on this one, but not too bad. Are we 5 for 5? How? Dude, I thought that, like, the majority of my Dreamcast did not work. Was I testing with a bad game or something? I mean, there we go. The downside to it, is this CD audio music? It probably is. It's not like they'd have, yeah, there's no R&B version of this that's going to have chiptunes. Okay, so, all right. It's looking promising. This is not CD audio music. Use a light on your ceiling fan, because I've yet to find a new fan that I like that also has a light that doesn't suck. Yes, I do. And no, I don't have a good recommendation. I don't know what I'm going to do for that, because I'm tempted to replace this one, especially with a 4-bulb fixture, but I don't know. I was looking at, I spent like a half an hour this morning. I mean, I guess that Dreamcast works too. Spent a half an hour this morning looking up, like, smart bulbs. LED video filming bulbs and stuff that go into the US E26 fixtures. And I came away with just, like, no idea what I want to get. All right, that one works. Next up, this one, which is definitely not the exact same. This is the one that has the stuck power button. Okay, so that's good to know. This one may have dead laser. Yeah, because goo stuff was spilled in it. So here's our first candidate for a full restoration. By the way, VMUs are awesome. Just gotta throw that out there. Ceiling recessed lights and ceiling fan with no light. Oh, you will hate that. So, here's my number one complaint about ceiling fans and light. And your solution would invert this and make it so much worse. Have your fan on, have your lights on, look at the ceiling, and watch the strobe from the light that goes up and then bounces off of the ceiling. But it gets blocked by the fan blades. Drives me insane. If you put ceiling lights above the fan blades, you will strobe everything below. That would be so much worse. All right, let's see if this reads. I'm going to guess this one won't. DC optical mechs have been pretty reliable. Pain points are the controller bus, fuse, battery, fan. Yeah, so I haven't removed the batteries on these. Here we go. Our possibly first dead drive. Okay. I'm going to unplug power. I'm going to shift the laser back, and we'll see if it moves. That'll tell us if the transport is working. I guess it wants the drive to be closed for safety. Yeah, I heard it come forward. Yeah, my goal is to not have batteries in them, so the two that we recap today, or any that we open, actually, I'm just going to remove the batteries on, because I don't care. Okay, yeah, dead drive. Okay, so there's our first non-functional drive. We will have to open this, most likely, to tweak the resistor on there. Stream's going to get all the DMCA takedowns. I don't know that Pac-Man is going to do it, because, yeah, there's batteries in them. Yep. You know how it asks for the time every single time you turn it on? It's got an RTC. So the battery is actually really easy to get to. Just take off the top. It's right here behind the controller ports. All right. So, where'd I put the marker? Finds working marker, instantly loses it. You have your scope, calibrate the laser. You don't need a scope, you just need a resistor, but I did bring the Siglant. In case we wanted to look at video stuff too. In case there were analog issues. Yeah, I instantly lost. Oh, there it is. It's behind the paper towels. Okay. Laser bad. Okay. Boom. All right. First man down. Back there. We have 3 left. So it's maybe a little yellow. Just a touch. Just so we can make it feel extra bad. We'll have this one next to it.
Napoleon Bonaparte.
Be there for 10 years, leave a rectangular white spot.
Subscribe for 3 months. End of line.
The whole goal today, I'm a cat, is to take care of this. It's to solve these problems. That's all we're doing today. And Napoleon Bonaparte, thank you for the Prime sub and for 3 months. I appreciate that. All right. See what we get out of this one. So far, all of these have had good power supplies. They're aftermarket power supplies, and I don't know why. I am not aware of the power supplies being a problem on these. Oh, yeah, no, it's not just any battery, but you know what the best battery is? None. You know what doing the battery, replacing the battery does? It fixes what I just did, pressing left and then A. That's it. That's the only thing that putting a battery in does. Goodwill sticker? You know, we have an interesting potential here. Oh, I'm not taking that bet. Never mind. I was gonna say, what do you bet it's not yellow underneath the sticker? But nope, it's gonna be it's gonna be white under the sticker. Yeah, for sure. That is UV yellowing. High scores. Memory card. Why is set clock disabled? Oh, we are so not setting clock on every single Dreamcast. Yeah, no, that would be insane. Bad battery? What about the No, I'm saying the clock. Who cares about the clock and the battery? The UV yellowing could have happened before it got stickered. It is possible. Yeah, the sticker's been on there since 2017 though. Good blazer. So ultra yellow Dreamcast, just fine. Another home stream? Yes, but this one we're doing nerd stuff, like good nerd stuff, not geek stuff on. We're going to be recapacitoring 2 Dreamcasts and tuning the lasers. Because I am waiting for more stuff to be delivered to work on things. Okay, can we just replace the RTC battery with supercapacitor? No, that's actually completely valid. If I were going to replace it with anything, I would replace it with that. When will they invent batteries that don't leak? They're called ceramic capacitors. Thought your ISP hates you. That was yesterday, and it turns out WireGuard hates me. So yeah, let me explain yesterday, okay? By the way, given the choice between these 2 colors, I like this one more, slightly darker. This is more correct, but this is just slightly yellowed, but I think this looks better beige. Anyway, so it turns out WireGuard cannot be bound to a particular network interface. And it is completely random which one it decides to respond back on. So what was happening yesterday is I lost power at home, and WireGuard and the whole computers and networks and everything got reset. And WireGuard switched between the 10 gig and 1 gig network interfaces on my server, and I didn't know that. So I was able to send it data from the office over the 10 gig interface, but then it was trying to reply back over the 1 gig interface, and the router was going, no, because it didn't want to try and mix traffic like that. Another good laser. We only have 1 left. This one Goodwill had game consoles. I have bought 4 fat PS3s at Goodwill's. Although, yeah, they weren't really showing up at Goodwill around the time this was. All right. Good, I guess. How? All right, last one. This one's really, really... Oh! And labeled as broken. Okay, we may have found our 2 that we work on. So, here we go. This one has above average potential for being dead. So let's see what we get. This isn't the burnt one, is it? Nope, we already got past the burnt one. All right. Let's see what we get. And before breaker trips, that's fine. It's not the office where I gotta go ask my landlords, hey, can you please fix that? Oh, I think I just tried to start the game and there's no disc in there, so that's my bad. Weird that it didn't say no disc found. Is it gonna play the lid? Okay. Let's pop a disc in there. See what happens. The servers are not on the same breaker as this computer. Okay, so we do have 2 bad drives. Okay, so here are our candidates. I was expecting at least one to not turn on. Okay. Now, where do we call in to vote? Yeah. So now what we will be doing is we're going to crack these open one at a time. Let's do this one first. And we're going to first try to clean, and then... Actually, I want to do this one first, because it's got the disgusting stuff all over it.
Games, 100, come on down. You're the next contestant on Shelby's Tech Tangents Repair Nightmares. End of line.
Haters Games, thank you for the 100 bits. I appreciate that. I don't remember what I was saying now. I completely lost my train of thought. All right. Oh, I do know what I was trying to do, though. I was trying to go over here and disable the overlay. There we go. All right. I am accidentally recording. Oh, it's just going to do that constantly. Yeah, so I have figured out why it does that. So we'll be on stream, okay? The phone is here, and I can actually, you know what? I can disable this. One moment. I need to get into the settings. Hold on. What happens is I'll put my hand in front of the camera like that, and then it'll think I'm waving, and waving is a, like, trigger to have it automatically start recording. It's super annoying. Okay, so let me just do this really quick, because it's probably going to show all the menus and stuff on the phone. Okay.
Chloroquine says Tier 100 train of thought lost due to it being America and a freight train got routing priority for the track. End of line.
Shooting methods. Floating. Voice commands. No. Show palm. That's it. Disable that. There we go. Also, phone is running like poo today. I don't know why. All right. Back to here. Let's tear into a Dreamcast. Okay, I can zoom this in slightly more. Zoom it in slightly less.
HMS Crowdbridge subscribed to Tier 1. They've subscribed for 42 months. And says the best number of months. End of line.
Hold on one moment. I'll get into all that in a second. Let me just set up the better lighting. Okay. Why is it so blue? Why is it so squished? Oh, maybe it's... No, it's not squished. Never mind. Okay. Use GoPro for down cam. What could possibly go wrong? Yeah, for sure. Okay. The color is all wrong, but whatever. Okay. Chloe, thank you for the 100 bits there. And HMS, thank you for the tier 1 sub and for 32, 8, and 2 42 months there. I appreciate that. Desk is orange, so it makes it blue. Oh, I know why. Yeah, I mean, I could go in here and try and manually do... Actually, hold on. If I do this, and then I disable log... Yeah, that'll look better. The downside is you cannot specify tint, which is super duper annoying. I'll set this to 1080p 60 so it doesn't unnecessarily waste processing. Why is it so crunchy? It's like it's trying to HDR it, but it's doing it poorly. And you know what? That'll just have to do. Alright, it's gonna be blue. Deal with it. Alright. Alright. Oh, I'm glowing over there. Nothing I can kind of help with that a little bit. Oh, that helped a lot. Alright. Just catching up. It needs game consoles anyway. No, we need Windows CE computers. That's what we need. Okay. Look like a Bringus Studios video now. I gotta admit, I don't know who that is. All right. So, first thing we need to do, pull out the modem, because nobody can afford the Ethernet adapter. Then, we have to take out 4 Phillips screws. I'm going to use the ceremonial decade-long dust-covered tray for this, because that is what Dreamcast screws go into. You know, I don't have a nice soft surface. Ooh, I got a mouse pad. There we go. Totally not coffee-stained mouse pad. Okay. They advertise. I mean, they sold Linux for it. Yeah, I've never actually had the opportunity to try that. One of these days, I'll get around to it. All right, I'm going to use this for getting into these Phillips. iFixit, not sponsored. Well, when they start selling this kit again, then I will do a sponsorship. But until then, no. PS2s in Europe came with BASIC. Well, that's weird. I did not know that. That one really not going to reach. Will the extension fit? No. I will be back in a moment. screwdrivers. Now, I wonder if I can get this thing... Ooh, I have an idea. Unless I can just set... No. Why can't I adjust white balance on this? It's so annoying. You know what? Hold on. Let me try something again. Why is this so dark? Let's try that. That looks better. Okay. And now we can get the screw up. Mouse pad looks as old as Dreamcast? Probably is. Alright, there's all 4 screws. And... there we go. So that's the battery. It looks like it's CR2032, but it's not quite, but it's real close. Actually, you know what? I swear that one literally is a CR2032 that's just spot welded in place. All right. Now, the power button on this one does not release. So let's just take care of this real quick, because this should be pretty trivial. First thing I'm going to do is just push it back up from the bottom. I'm going to push the tabs in so it can come out all the way. And then we're just going to clean it. That's it. I'm going to get the tools out of here. Rechargeable version CR2032s, what the Dreamcast uses. All CR2032s are rechargeable. They're all lithium. Well, at least more modern ones are. I don't know. I've never seen anyone put a non-rechargeable CR2032 in a motherboard. I'm pretty sure motherboards recharge them. All right. CR2032 is not rechargeable? Not with that attitude. Please, people sold battery rechargers for alkalines in the 70s all the time. It's fine. It didn't look like there was that much coming off of there, but that paper towel is very definitely dirty. Don't eat a CR2032. No, they taste disgusting now. They were so much better before. Well, I don't think they're NiCad either, to be fair, Matrox. All right, that's probably good now. Oh, yeah, that's way better. That's excellent. Okay. The power switch on the console itself works. All right, that's one problem solved. Boom. We're just going to ignore that that's right there. That's non-functional concern area. Everything else is fine. Just don't worry about it. All right. Moving on. We have this thing. Okay. Let's get the water field up here, although we are going to use it in a second. But I don't want to think about it right now. Okay. So, on the Dreamcast, we have this transport thing. Oh, that actually makes me feel a little better. On the Retro Bright Dreamcast, okay, I did tune the laser, and I noticed that the screw back here was missing, so I thought, oh, someone monkeyed with it, but it's missing on this one too, so maybe they're just all like that. Yeah, so you can't get to that screw when it's assembled, I guess, so maybe Sega just did not care. They're like, you know how we can save 1/8 of a cent on the BOM? Just don't install the rear screw. All right. I'm going to zoom this in for you here now. Come on. All right. Hopefully that automatically changes to a more appropriate sensor. Looks like it probably did. Okay. So we're going to take off these two screws right there. Then we can peel off this top transport.
They've subscribed for 37 months. And says, can I send mine in next? End of line.
I only have 9 here to work on. I mean, it's not like it's that many that I have to go through. But Dogface, thank you for the tier 3 sub and for 37 months. I appreciate that. Also, just as a side note, while I have you here, the things that we have been working on for months, I'm guessing maybe in the current tech climate, probably don't make a lot of sense to pursue right now. All right. So where this gets complicated, is we now lift this up and what we need to do is reroute this cable to not be retained. Well, the first thing we're going to do is clean that, and that looks disgusting, so cleaning might just solve this, but I want to show you this before we get any further along. There we go. Right there. We can see a locked in place potentiometer, and that is what you adjust to retune the power level of the laser, supposedly. I don't know if everyone is correct about that, but you can tweak that if your laser isn't working. So if after cleaning, this one does not come back, we will try that. But first, we're just going to clean it. So I've got my already sudsed up paper towel here. Let me just wipe this off. It's looking disgusting. That's a good sign. All right, I'm going to get a Q-tip, damp, and lightly sudsed. Now I'm just using soap and water for cleaning this. Nothing solvent, nothing aggressive, just dish soap. Okay. Now, if I can really get this in there, you can see how gross this is. Oh, why is my focus? Oh, it's not manual. Yeah, there's just stuff all around this. You want to be very careful and light if you are following along at home. Made in China. Hope you paid your tariffs on the Dreamcast. Yeah, yes, 2 decades ago. Yes. Like, you know, repairing game consoles, only becoming a Twitch gamer. We've repaired consoles before. That's nothing. And I think most Twitch gamers don't repair their own consoles. No offense to them, but that's not their skill set. All right. Now we test if that works. By the way, does a Noctra fan just fit on this shroud? I want to find out right now. While we have this out. No, said I was trying to zoom out, not refocus. Come on, focus. Focus. Why are you... Oh, it went to manual focus. Hold on. Multi-point. There we go. Okay. So this does... Holy moly, its fan's so much bigger. Why? Oh my gosh, no wonder you have to print a custom shroud. Good grief. I thought it was supposed to be drop-in. It's also a cute little tiny Noctua fan. I love these. But anyway, okay, so we're definitely not doing that today. That's for sure. Holy moly. I really thought they were just straight up drop in place. Okay. Let's plug some stuff in. I need Noctua's best Noctua, yeah. All right. Now, the real trick here is that we're going to retain this back, okay? So we're just going to hook something onto this to make the Dreamcast think that the lid is on and closed. About this rubber band. There we go. Hey. And then the only way you can really know it's working is if you look down underneath. No, I'm just kidding. Don't do that. You probably won't go blind, but you won't enjoy life after. Okay. Now we'll see if it can read a disc. All we have done is clean the laser. It's the tractor run? I'm not sure what you mean. Insert disc. Okay, so it's still not happy, huh? Looks like we're going to be tweaking this one. Okay. Oh, it's being very noisy outside. Ah, okay. Disc doesn't work. Try flipping it over. Yeah. Off now. See you later. All right. Let me hide that. Okay, so this is a little difficult to do. Did not hide it correctly. There we go. What's wrong with this one? Bad laser? It's not reading. We don't know that the laser is bad yet, but the laser is not reading discs. So we are on to step 2 of Dreamcast laser restoration. We just tried cleaning it. That did not do it. So now we're going to try tweaking its power output. Is anyone familiar with this process? Is it lower or higher? Because I don't remember. All right. We're going to get out the stabby probes for this, because these are real tiny things we got to poke onto here. Well, Diego, I do not know that the GameCube can have the laser tuned in the same way. So that's something you'll have to look into. Stick in a no moving parts replacement. I mean, yes, this is why I want to see. Am I doing this to one that works? Why, is it not working? I would like to be able to put this in the box that the GD EMU comes out of, and then just say, like, hey, if you ever want to bring this one back to being a optical media Dreamcast, just put this back in. That's the goal. I am not looking for this to be a shortcut out. How do you know if the laser is working? Is it in the visible spectrum? I have no idea. I'm not going to look. All right, let me look up the Dreamcast laser calibration thing really quick. I just want to make sure that it is... you want to lower the value. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Measuring ohmmeter, simply marking. It's important to measure the resistance before you start manipulating it. Okay. Need to decrease the potentiometer resistance, which results in increasing laser's power and disc reading capability. Okay, so yes, reduce it. All right. All right, so I'm going to be using my horrible Siglet DMM for this. I do actually have the one that Wesley gave me right here, but I did the other one with this, and the real chunky probes make this very, very difficult to do here. So I'm using some needle probes this time around. So, meter continuity. Just beep. Oh my god, this thing is slow. Yeah, it's the Radio Shack one. What is wrong with this thing? I'm not sure that these are making good contact, or I don't know, they should be. Why is this sucking so much? Okay, that's working better. Oh my gosh, I hate this thing. All right, well, that'll work. This is a digital maybe meter? Yeah. All right, let's go. Resistance. Okay. Actually, I did want to do continuity at first, because I want to see if one side of the potentiometer is ground. Push this back so we have more space. I'm going to put this behind. Okay. Featuring the most popular shopping website of Switzerland. Oh, man. Yay. I plan on replacing it. I plan on removing it. Okay. So... Oh, that's nice. They clearly label ground as ground. So let's see. Is this ground? No. Is this ground? No. Is it 5 volts? No. No. Is it 3 volts? No. No. Is it 12 volts? No. And no. So it's something weird. Got it. Okay, let's just measure the resistance then. Would we game on it on stream? Probably not, because we got many more to go through. And we're probably not going to even finish everything I would like to do today because I would still like to install GDEMU and all that other fun stuff. Dude, what? Yeah, let's say I touch these both to the screw. This thing is awful. You know what? Let's just use these probes on the Radio Shack meter. $1,000 scope meter, meet your superior. $5 Radio Shack meter. With a dead battery? Eh? I didn't leave it on. Aw. Well, that sucks. All right, fine. We'll try this again. That's because I've actually been using it, Wesley. Let me try the other probes in case those ones just aren't making good contact. Just use the oscilloscope. We're measuring a resistor. This is going well then? Yeah. I mean, I can go get a battery if I need to, or I could reach all the way up onto the shelf. Oh gosh, the horror, and grab one. But that just sounds crazy. Okay. Eh? Well, that worked better. Okay, maybe it just hates those other probes. These ones are stabby too, so they're gonna work better most likely. Now let's try this again. There's one side. Well, let's put this back to continuity. So it'll beep. Beep. Okay, that's better. Okay. Ground. No. Ground. No. Okay. 3 volts. No. No. 5 volts. No. No. 12 volts. No. No. That just would have been nice so that I only have to put one probe on the pot, but no, we got to put both on. Okay. Should be like 700 ohms or something if I remember correctly. Rage quit. Sorry, Wesley. The oscilloscopes don't have resistance mode? Yeah. All right, so 691. That's our starting value. You know, it's not easy to save that value when my hands are preoccupied. Okay, I'm just going to write this number down. It'd be real cool if I could get the probes to stay on there, but that's definitely not happening. Okay, I want to try and get this down to 600 and try it. Oh, that's right. These screws are a really weird size. Oh, I forgot how I did this last time. I think I used a flat blade kind of jammed in there. Huh. I think there's more glue on this one than the last one. Hmm. For giggles, let's see if we've changed it at all. I have not really actually rotated it, but... This thing sucks. Yeah, I barely nudged it, and it is slightly lower now, it seems. Yeah, it looks like we shaved off about 100 ohms. So we'll just try that. Let's see what we get. These pots are really weak. They're very sketchy. Okay, just bring that back. We're at 591. Or 590, slightly below 600. No way. All right, well, I was not expecting this one to come back. Okay, then. All we did was just kind of wiggle it. Like, I didn't actually get it to where I was hoping to, but okay, I'll take it. This one's still leading contender for GD Emu, though, because I feel like that was flaky. First try? I mean, yeah. All right, then. When that's technically is a fail? I mean, kind of, yeah. All right. Let's just put it, man. Something isn't broken. I guess, yeah. Okay. I'm gonna leave this one semi apart. And then let's take apart the other one. See what we can do there. You're gonna need those GD moves at all. One of these consoles is getting it no matter what. It's also getting the capacitors replaced in the power supply no matter what. I want an immortal Dreamcast. All right, so here is the other problematic one. GDU move would be great. Increasing the power will make the laser fail quicker. Yeah. Thought the other problematic one was chat. All right, so we're again going to start with just cleaning the laser, but I'm going to tear the whole thing down to get to it. Just feel like that's a sensible plan here. All right, take out the useless modem. And remove the screws since they are exact. Um, uh, 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 Screws not included, I guess. Hmm. Okay. That's the way it should be. Okay. Well, that's fun. All right, let's clean the laser. Water. Water on the MDF is fine. It likes it. Get a little soap. All right. VR battery. I don't know what the battery is other than not long for this world. What do you mean, sigh? Self-expanding desktop. Just add water. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's all nice and poofy there now. It's great. I would rather it not spill out. That's the whole point of this. But the lid, which was supposed to be the savior, has also slightly backfired because every time I move this, the water sloshes around, gets up on the lid, and then it, like, comes out. So that's fun. But this is already imperfect, okay? So you see all these, like, little splotches on here? This is, like, one of those, you know, I'm a human things happened kind of things. Every single one of those are from my headphones being left resting on the table and leaving just oil behind. So it's gonna happen. Stuff is gonna happen. Yes. Does MDF has history? Yes, exactly. All right. That's a good start to cleaning. So let's try and power this up, see what we get. Let me put the rubber band of I know what I'm doing on. Leak too much of that in the US won't be. No comment. Get a headphone hook. I got a whole paint stick that I stick onto a shelf down below, and then I hang the headphones on that when I remember, which is rarely. Besides, how am I going to get the oil out of the headphones if I don't set them down every now and then, you know? All right. Let me bring back the output. See what we get. Isn't it a comfortably worn in? It isn't a comfortably worn in if it isn't a good bench. I'm not 100% sure what you're saying, but I like a good worn in MDF work surface, yes. No way. That's 9 for 9. What? All right. Who said these are unreliable? I guess all you gotta do is just clean the laser, I guess. Cheetimo, the one that needs the power tweaked? Yeah, we're definitely doing that one. Probably this one, too. I'd say these are both good candidates. They're pretty good cosmetically. They're not flawless, but they're pretty good. So I'm not hurting one. That would be pristine. Yeah, I think these are the ones. All right. What was all this bad drives about? We did have to open 2 of them and at least, go on them. So, I mean, they were bad. Why they make it so reliable? It's ruining the content. Yeah. Oh, man, that's great. Okay. Well, there's one downside, but we can kind of rectify this. So this one doesn't have the 4 screws that hold the top case on, but you know what? That other one did have 4, and we really only need 2. So, I know how we can fix this problem. Okay. This is still a little dirty. I don't know how to do the GE Emu hack. I didn't think we were actually going to get to that point today. It looks like we probably are. So now that I got these lasers working, let's yoink them out. Okay. We can recap the power supply first, though. So there's just, I think, 2 screws there and there. We pull this out, and then it has this kind of weird, like, pass-through connector where there's pins going up, and then this is a female connector on the other side. So it's pretty easy to remove the power supply, and it's really awesome that I just had this all powered up. Like new GDEMU equivalent on the GameCube that keeps the optical drive. Yeah, I do really wish this would keep the optical drive, although it's really hard for me to complain about that when I have 9 Dreamcasts. So I'm definitely keeping one that just has the drive on hand. It's actually, the VA2s are forever going to be the one that keeps the drives in. Plastic baggie for screws, into the trash it goes. Yeah, actually, what it probably is one of these. One of these probably has the screws for the Dreamcast, but I don't know which ones they are. I don't feel like digging through them, and that's not the one that has them, I suspect. Because that one should just be PC case screws. And that's the power supply. Okay, let's go over the cap kit. At least recycle those remotes. There's an annoying amount of values on the Dreamcast. Okay. Back here, we have C59. Let's go ahead and find that. 50. 51. That's a whole bunch of them. Ooh, I cut that close. So, unfortunately, this value was shared between this and another thing. We need 3 of these on here. It looks like, no, we need 2 of them. Okay, that's better. That's still not the one. We can't do more than 2 power supplies. That's basically what I'm getting to, I think. 59, there we go. Okay, so this is a 10 volt 1000 UF, and these are 10 volt 1000 UF. Okay, so check. I'm gonna just dot the tops of these to confirm that I have the correct values if I can find the Sharpie. That power supply is probably most of them. Oh, the caps. Well, so this is my own cap kit.
They've subscribed for 9 months and says I recently got my hands on some Tandy computers in amazing condition. Thank you
nice.
for having content covering XTID cards and the Grisu easel. End of line.
Angry Canine, thank you for the tier 2 sub there. I appreciate that. And for 9 months. I'm really glad I was able to help you out with that kind of stuff, because those kinds of things are difficult to get into to start out with for sure. But I hope you have a good time with your Tandy computers. Anyway, the power supply. This is my own cap kit. You can find this on Caps Wiki that describes what all the values of the capacitors are. So these are only for the power supply. I was mostly commenting that there are a lot of unique values in this thing for some reason, so that's what I was saying. Now I want to confirm 53 and 56, which I think was the ones here. Yep. Okay. So these are both 16 volt 470 and 16 volt 470. Yep. And these, I think, yep, they're 16 volt 470. Perfect. Just dot. Just want to make sure I didn't accidentally screw up and forget a value, and then I go to replace them, and then I pull them off, and then I don't have one. Okay. 52 is... That's C3? Weird. Okay, 52. Okay, should be a 35 volt 470, and this is a 35 volt 470. Okay. Unlike the deck writer, I assume Sega knew how to design a power supply, and by Sega, I mean probably... Well, it says Sega 1999, but also Mitsumi, so... It was Mitsumi that made the power supply. C54. Which is a big one. 51, 50. Uh-oh. 50. 51. C3. Did I screw this up? Is it not C3 or is that C3? That's C3. Oh, I may have missed one. Uh-oh. C54 is a 10 volt 2200. It's 100. This is 10 volt 2200, but it's marked as C51. Oh, I'm stupid. I think I put J51 as C51. Let me check Caps Wiki. Having a blast with them? That's awesome. Caps Wiki. Make sure there is no C51. Recent changes. Last 30 days. Sega Dreamcast. C51. C51. Yeah, I screwed that up. Okay. Edit. These are C54. And C54. Yeah. Okay. And save. Caps Wiki updated. And for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, with Caps Wiki, if you're on Twitch, you can see the page there that has all of the parts documented for this power supply. Okay, so confirmed. This one, not 51, it is 54. This is why we check this kind of thing before we start tearing into this. Okay, and that one's C50, which is down here. Should be a 3300 10 volt. And it is. Check. All the way up here. Why do I have tiny ones? We'll get back to that in a second. Oh, it's that one. So this is going to be C3. Is a 100 UF 200 volt. This is 220, 100. Looks good. And then I bought 50 of this one part right there. So that is C something. C10. Yep, C10. Should be 35 volt 47. 35 volt 47. Check. Okay. We can tear into the power supply. All electrolytics have been identified. Guess reasons for CD-ROM lasers failing: mostly dirty lens, misalignment, misfocusing too little power rather than laser diode dying outright. Yeah, so zero out of the 9 Dreamcasts we looked at today had actual issues with their lasers. So it's only miscalibration. All right. I have a weird setup here today I'm going to try. I have my Metcal tweezers here. I'm going to try and use these for removing the capacitors, because they are all through hole, and they're probably not stupid like the Deck Rider ones. So I suspect I can just tweezer them out. Maybe. If not, I'll switch to the individual iron, but for now I want to try this. I might go back to the blades, I don't know. Alright, here we go. Laser diode degrades with use, yeah, but not really that bad. I don't think I've ever encountered a failed laser diode from use. And I don't just mean on a Dreamcast, I mean ever. Alright, man, he sure likes smoking. Okay, this is not working. Iron with Sodapult it is. I was really hoping that would work, but no. Do that 7,000 note for the laser burning up. Sorry, Gasoline. Yeah, a couple of different CD burns failed somewhere. That's cleaning lens, fix them at some point, yeah.
Community. They've gifted a total of 5 in the channel. End of line.
Snowboard Monkey, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Okay, now I'm curious about something. Didn't work. Okay. All right. Let's get some fresh solder on here. Why is this not working? Because I still have it on the tweezers for some stupid reason. Copy. Actually, you know what? We should assembly line this. Let's just replace all the caps in parallel while we're working on these. So while that's heating up for like 3 seconds, let me get the other Dreamcast's power supply out. are you stuck? Oh, the goo spilled on the power connector? Oh, jeez. Ridiculous. All right. I like how they have serial numbers. Okay. All right, so when you don't have a Metcal DS1 to hand, this is my preferred desoldering solution. This is a Soldapult. Just setting up a trash box that I can use to activate that over to pull any loose solder off of with. All right. Went pretty well. Okay, that removed like just the most inconvenient amount of solder. Point where I can't get the leg to release. Like maybe I should just walk him out. Maybe I do have to fully clear the Oh, this is going to be sketchy. Which one was I working on? This one. Right. There we go. First one out. Okay, polarity markings are correct. Just calling that out there. Actually, no, can I just do this? Not sure these aren't glued down. Okay, now I am. Don't you need to arm the pump? I'm not currently using it. Soldapult, a brand name. It is a brand name, and I would recommend that brand name. Did the stream just flash for a second, just out of curiosity, for those of you who are like really paying attention? Every now and then I notice it do that out of the corner of my eye, and I don't know if it's my remote desktop or not. Not that you noticed? Okay. Did not flash. Okay, cool. All right. Wow, this really wants to be a pain in the butt. There we go. So they're not bent over, but they are bent with the legs. Apparently this won't focus. There we go. They're bent with the legs pointed out. So it's not having a happy time of it. No machine love. It is no machine, though. That's what I'm using. Okay, so these are C59, which should be that one on the top. Okay. Grab 2 of these. Pointed out it's slightly easier to deal with the pointed end. Yes. All right. Oh, this is what the Soldapult is for, to clean these up. Well, instructions on the box and making lunch and the package explode. You know what? I'm putting the box so I can be super lazy. I'll just do them both. All right. Move that one off to the side because we're done with it. Okay, just make sure I don't accidentally short anything here. Did get a solder blob. Okay. Beautiful. That's what these 2 boards are that are being recapped. These are the power supplies for Sega Dreamcasts. So I just went through my collection of 9 different Sega Dreamcasts to try and find out which ones would have any problems. And in the end, I actually got all optical drives in every single console working. These 2 are the only ones that gave me trouble, though, so I decided that these would be the ones that I would work on. Specifically because I'm going to be replacing the optical drives with optical drive emulators, and I want to have a immortal Dreamcast, essentially. So I figured the ones that have the most troublesome optical drives would be the ones that would be best to replace the optical drives on, even if they ended up working ultimately. I did not grab wire snips. Oops. I will go get some in a second. Where's that other capacitor? Oh, it's in the thing already. Not going anywhere? Okay. I will be right back yet again. Okay. Immortal Dreamcast sure sounds nice. Yes. Let's see. Plans on removing battery anyway, so clock not really going to be an issue. Yes, exactly. Yeah, I don't care about the clock at all. Of all of the things that I'm going to waste my time worrying about, that's not one of them. You know, it occurs to me. I should move the mic there. That probably makes way more sense. Gosh, it's only not in my face now, makes it easier to read chat, and probably sounds better. Why would I want it right there? Look how much more space I have to work with. Okay. Well, the Dreamcast didn't come out in 1980, so I suspect that it doesn't allow you to set the date that far back. I think 1998 is it. Okay, so next up, those two, which are the same value. Yep, polarities are marked correctly, so we can just remove those both. Okay. Automatically sets a clock through tiny macro at startup. See, now I like the way you're thinking. That's the kind of solution I'm looking for. Actually, I just don't care about the clock at all, though. I really, really, really don't. If there are games that require the clock to work, those are not the games that I'm going to play. And I'm not saying that as in, like, I just won't play them if they need the clock. It's just that kind of game's not the kind that appeals to me. Oh, wow, these don't go very far down. Disregard my completely normal removal method there. This is exactly how you're supposed to do it. Mm-hmm. You just get the iron on there, touch both sides at once, and apply a little bit of pressure, and then boop. There's a capacitor. Do you have the Dreamcast microphone? No, I do not, so I cannot play Seaman. But who needs Seaman? We have Sega Bass Fishing. You know what's better than the microphone? The fishing controller. I mean, come on. Yeah. The Playdate's great, but, like, the original controller with the crank on the side, that's the one I'm after. Ooh, why is that one not going? Come on. There we go. Fishing controller didn't know that exists. Want lazy simulator? Hand crank only, boo.
Tier 101 of the Harvesters of the Sea. End of line.
If we might. I don't think we'll have enough time, but if we have enough time, I will play Sega Bass Fishing. Sega Bass Fishing is incredible. Booyah. Caps out. Mike, thank you for the 100 bits. All right, so this should be 56 and 53. 56, 53. Okay. I'm going to need 4 of these. Camera thinks we need to focus on your headphones or just barely in front. It always wants to focus on stuff that is super close, no matter what. It is ridiculous. Until you want to focus on something close, of course, yeah. Shouldn't there be more of those caps? There's 1 and 2. I would like to point out there is nothing wrong with these Dreamcast power supplies. I'm just doing this preemptively. So I probably am not going to throw those caps away because they're not bad. Not that, you know, I'm like going to use them in something else, but there's no real reason I'm doing this other than I just want to reset the clock. Now, there is a aftermarket power supply that you can get for this. That I would not recommend. So unless you absolutely must recap your power supply, you probably don't need to do this. But the aftermarket power supply, I believe it takes a USB-C power supply, but then it has 0 capacitors on it at all. That's just going to be a terrible, terrible time. So you need some capacitance to prevent brownouts, as we have discovered on the Deck Rider 3. So yeah, do not recommend that one. All right. We're just going to clean up the solder pads here so I can pop the new caps in. Oh, not only do these have polarity markings on the top, they also have them on the bottom. No caps equal no blown caps. Yeah, that's insane. No caps. Look it up. Dream Supply. It's ridiculous. Now, I'm not one to try and besmirch something that somebody's trying to make, especially when it tries to fill a niche, but, like, you gotta have it. The ATX PC Junior does not have capacitors on it because it's not a power supply. It's a passive adapter. Your power supply itself should have that. You know what? I'm going to move the camera to the side since I'm getting my head in the way. Let me do this. My hand is going to get in the way more frequently. Actually, maybe. Maybe with that angle, my head won't get in the way as much. When the C charger block have capacitance? No, because it doesn't provide just one power rail. There are internal DC to DC converters in the Dream Supply that change the voltage output. That's why it's a problem. So if you were getting multiple voltage outputs from the USB-C power supply, that would be fine, but you're not. Okay. Haven't done the other one yet, but whatever. All right, negative inside, positive outside on these. Just confirm that on the bottom as well. Yep. This is not better. Okay, hold on. There, we'll try that. I'm afraid that might actually probably just do this. Yeah, that's probably the better way to go overall. Yeah, there we go. Now you can see the nice foam microphone thing there. That, yeah, because now I can lean over and it doesn't show up. Perfect. Okay. Lock the focus? I could, but if I want to be able to hold something up to show you, it would be nice to be able to do that. Like now I can show you, look, there's the cap legs on the power supply. Yay! Let's do the other one, and then we'll just trim them all in one go. And last one. Oh, I didn't notice that before. There are SMD parts on this side. Cool. Sega, why are you making the Dreamcast so complicated? Look at there's little resistors all over on there. Why? I mean, I guess it's single-sided, just... Yeah, phenolic on that side, no. No, nothing. Alright, negative inside. Negative inside. Too many capacitors on the other side to fit them? Yeah. What's wrong with your Amiga, Toronto? Because if it's a power supply, it seems like the general recommendation is to get a Meanwell drop-in power supply and then just rewire it. There we are. All right, making progress. Not as much progress as I would like, but we are making progress. Okay, so let's take out C52, which is, boom. Do this the totally correct way you're definitely supposed to do it. I graduated first in my class at soldering school. They said, get out. We never want to see you again, which I can only assume means that I did such a good job that they figured there was nothing left to teach me. Forgot to snip these ones. Try to turn it on, screen only flash for a fraction of a second, then black. The floppy drive is making bad sounds from a power supply quickly. Oh, yeah, that's a little more haunted than I know. Yeah, I don't remember what the symptoms of mine were, but I don't feel like it was that cursed. Chloe. That's how I passed my language class in high school. Teacher told me he'd pass me along as long as I never tried to speak French again. When I was in high school, it was, they had a computer class there. I probably told the story before. They had a computer class there, and I desperately did not want to take it. because I knew it'd be a waste of my time, it'd be a waste of their time, because I already knew all the computer stuff that they would possibly teach me there, because they weren't going to do anything useful. And I wanted to test out of the class. So I went in one day, sat down, took their test, got like basically perfect on it or whatever. It didn't really matter. I was getting passed, so I didn't actually have to take the class. And the teacher was like, oh, cool, someone actually knows something about computers, because it apparently wasn't them. And, oh, this is so little load on the iron that actually turned off. They asked me, what is wrong with this computer over here? It was a Dell pre-built system. It wasn't working. So they brought me over to it after I took the test, because I had so much free time left after. And I went and looked at it. I'm like, it's got no RAM. The computer had Rambus Terminator sticks in it that had no chips on them. There were just blank PCBs, and those were the only sticks of RAM in the computer. So not only was I glad I tested out of that class because I didn't have to take it, I was glad I tested out of that class because I was definitely not going to learn anything useful in there. I have no idea what chipset it was. I just said, yeah, it ain't got no RAM. And then I noped out. Like, that's your guys' problem now. Bye! Learning what not to do is learning. Yes, but what I'm saying is the teacher didn't know that. So that was the level of no knowledge that the teacher had. That's a problem for trying to learn more stuff. The overhead camera died? Oh, that's a problem. Why? Blessed be Arizona education. Yeah. Oh, that's really weird. Yeah. Hold on. Unplug. Replug. It seems like, ow, the actual capture card may have croaked. I don't know. Let me unplug it from there. Yeah, fun. Yay. Junior high computer class did the entire semester assignments in the first day. I played in TA the rest of the time. Oh, gosh. Yeah, I didn't want to be doing that kind of stuff. I just wanted out. There we go. Just reset it. Yes. Weird. Sure. Time to recap the camera. It was actually the capture card, which I won't be recapping this one. I will be replacing it if I do anything. Unfortunately, the replacement is going to cost like $600, but I do want it. They made a new version of that one that's actually 4K 60, and I want it desperately. Okay. Let's do this. The only downside is that it needs like a real Thunderbolt port. Anyway, I think I need to clean my solder bolt. So one of the reasons why I recommend the solder bolt is you can disassemble it like this. And this is the rubber gasket that it uses to seal to make the plunger work. You can clean that, and it's designed for this. You can order replacement parts too, I'm pretty sure. So it is meant to be serviceable. It's not just throwaway garbage. So it wasn't getting as much suction there. So now it should be good. Perfect. $600 for a capture card? Yeah, because it is 4K 60, and that is apparently extremely hard. A hair got on the iron. That's a wonderful smell.
End of line.
Perfect time to join the raid. Oh my gosh. Hello, T2SDE and raiders. We are currently recapping 2 power supplies from Sega Dreamcast. I just went through my horde of 9 Sega Dreamcasts and determined that all of them actually worked after cleaning and recalibrating the lasers. So I'm now recapping 2 power supplies because I'm going to put optical drive emulators in 2 of them to make immortal Dreamcasts. So yeah, that's what we are doing right now. Schmide, that is a lame test. Oh my gosh. I would be so annoyed. Like the silicone tube we can put on, not melt for better suction on the tin. They don't make them anymore, but we can make them ourselves. So this one has like a PTFE tip or something. It's very temperature proof, but I don't want it to seal. So I use a method where I have it on the iron. So it's always resting on the iron when I'm using it. And it doesn't melt. And then I just remove the iron and then hit the suction. And it works great. All right, and I picked up the hair again somehow. Delightful. How many raids have you had this past year? I have no idea. I haven't looked at my Twitch recap because I don't really care. Righty. That cap goes there. I'm feeling a little weird about this one, so I think I might want to look at a photo of this power supply, or just crack open another Dreamcast and take a look at it. But let me see if I have a photo. And to just satisfy my own concerns here, let me validate that the rest of them have the polarities correctly marked. They do. Okay, it's not likely that this one is incorrect. Sega Dreamcast CPU. That's a VA0. The VA1. And went to replace Sony linear tracking turntable that goes for 150 used because the $4 belt is broken. Oh gosh. Okay, yeah, so that one is negative inwards. Okay, perfect. Computer classes weren't that bad in school, but I don't remember learning anything actually useful in them either. Yeah. All computer classes do in US public schools is teach you how to use Microsoft products. That's it. At least nowadays. Although, now that I say that, that's probably not true anymore. They probably just teach you how to ask ChatGPT what, you know, the favorite flavor of Mountain Dew George Washington's was. The future. Use Google products instead. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, that's right, because Chromebooks have dominated the education system. That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, you don't even get a real computer anymore. Because, you know, ARM isn't a real computer. Sourceless teacher in public school a couple of years ago. Yeah, I know someone else who still works in public schools, and they talk about Chromebooks and how much of a nightmare that is. Shots fired, yeah. Over a million Raspberry Pi clusters crying out in pain. Chromebooks the most used Linux distro. Dude, I desperately need a second actual Metcal base for home. But the Thermaltronics ones are like so expensive. They just never show up on eBay. Once they find it, yeah. I think the Metcal parts are going to be a little bit much of an ask there. Overreacted because I touched this part of the iron, which is actually completely safe. But it always is super scary when you touch any of the metal bits. The Metcals use the smart heat system that's super weird, so technically that doesn't actually get that hot. Come on, let go, Cap. On a Pine Sol knockoff for $10 with soldering stuff's definitely out there. Yeah, but not Metcal. That's different. Stomach knotted up when you put your finger there. Remember what it feels like to touch the agony part of an iron? Yeah. So the way that this iron works and why I like the Metcal so much is that they don't use a resistive heating element for the tip. There's actually a ceramic cartridge up here that resonates at a specific frequency, and they pump in that frequency through 2 pins down here. So the tip itself gets hot, so heat would have to radiate up. But this is not designed to be thermally conductive. There's no reason to have temperature go back up into the handset. So that is mostly insulated. Most of the heat goes that way. That's why it's discolored only at the top and not at the base. Part of why Metcal is so awesome, because the heat happens there. The patents on all of that have expired by now. There's a company called Thermaltronics that makes compatible parts for this stuff. It is more affordable. It's not particularly affordable, but it is more affordable. And then I think it's I never remember the company name for the other one that is more popular, JCB or whatever. Also uses a similar system for their irons. Okay, these are C54, which will be C51. Sharpied to correction on here. Just like how you can't change the temp on Metcal without changing the tip. See, I can understand that, but I've never had it be a problem. So, burning myself on iron back in school, still remember how painful it was, not fun? Yeah. Thanks for the tip then, yeah. Love patents expiring? Yes. That's the reason that we have 3D printers now. Stupid Stratsys. Trick to sweet thrift finds is going thrifting nearly an unhealthy amount of times. Oh, I know. Trust me, I know. I have been slowing down a lot on that, which is why my thrift scores have plummeted. Because I've been mostly focusing on far more expensive things from the internets recently, which has really cut down on the thrifting desire. All right, now that we've been into this for a little while, I'm curious what you guys think of a home stream that's a little more like an office stream here. Camera, I don't know. I mean, I assume this camera is not as good just because I'm not moving around as much, but this kind of thing, I probably really wouldn't move the camera around as much because we're just working through stuff. In fact, I saw you in person twice at different thrift stores from my early days of watching your channel told me enough about your thrifting habits. Yeah. Still have to have at some point. I remember LGR's last thrift episode near his house. That's what Charity likes. Shops are always like here. Yeah. It's highly dependent on the location, for sure. This is working out fine. You feel bad? I'm not sure why you feel bad. Is that related to this? You don't get electrical stuff around here, because they can't take it in and sell it without doing safety tests on it. Ah, that's lame. Oh, by the way, those of you who are on Discord, so the other day I was leaving the office. I guess I'll just tell the rest of you the story. There was a television in the dumpster there, a CRT, that is. And I was like, well, for one, it's illegal to just dump a CRT into trash here because we can't you can't do that because of the implosion risk and other e-waste requirements, so you're just not allowed to. And second thing, I want the free CRT, so I stole that CRT from the dumpster, and it worked. I found out yesterday. So oh, there's no technical issues preventing the office streams right now, Jason. This is logistics because I'm waiting for delivery of parts for a very complicated project. I could push through this project right now if I wanted to, but there would be suboptimal results. That's the thing. And I don't want that. So this is me holding back the project because I want to do it right. So be happy that I have that level of integrity. That's how you should see it for this particular stream. Free CRT is free CRT, yeah. Did they stop construction? I haven't heard the construction in a little while. So maybe. I don't know. I thought they were done with the solar panels a long time ago, though. And I know I saw them back up on the roof messing with the solar panels, even though I was told it was fire alarms, so. Yeah. Okay. Oh, that's super confusing. So that one's a Rubicon. That's very similar to the ones I just put in. I'm glad that I dot marked them all because I know I haven't replaced that one yet, even though it looks like the other ones. The stream format's fine. All right, that's good to know. Because I figured this kind of stream would work out fairly similarly to The Office. This is pretty much what we would do there anyway. Oh, that's interesting. There are different caps on the different power supplies. Huh. We're not marking all that down on caps. Okay, I don't care. Okay, C50, which is the biggest one there. Well, it's not the biggest, the bigger one. Okay, 3 left. Ah, all right. It's right there. Okay, I gotta be a little careful about this one. Why does that say C57? Oh, because it's one of the SMD ones. Oh my gosh. Right there. I gotta be careful this time around. Alright, giant capacitor, work with me here. Just pop right out. Just be like, I'm free! Yay! And then leave. Thank you for your cooperation. Uh-oh. I'm not sure that isn't flux. I think that's flux. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So looking more into the power supply, I can see a trail of flux going to the TO220 package there. So I think they fluxed that when they put it in, and it just drained and ran and went underneath the capacitor. Okay. It's not a leaky cap. I didn't want to have to recap 9 Dreamcast power supplies. That would be a lot of work. So it looks like they cleaned up the flux more on this one. So we'll see if we get the same thing here. Yeah, I think I see it pulling up around that same part. So I'm gonna guess, yeah, because these are different brands of capacitors too, so they wouldn't likely both leak. So I suspect it's just the assembly process. Only 4.4 times the current work to do them all. Yeah, that's a cakewalk. Can I just yoink this one? Oh, yeah, that's the way a cap should come out. That was easy. Yeah, so this one's moist on the bottom, but again, I'm pretty sure that's flux. So I don't think that's a concern. Alright. Let's soda-pult that. But think of the content recapping all these power supplies. It's definitely a lot of time that would get soaked up, that's for sure.
Raccoon says Tier 100, so it's a genuine flux capacitor. End of line.
Yep. Thank you for the 100 bits, Chloe. Okay. 3300 10 volt. 3300 10 volt. These must have been expensive since I only bought 10. They're not quite the same as the originals, but they are very similar. Chloe. Hello, Crunchy. It's Fortnite. Oh, yeah, this is for sure Fortnite. Yep. This is the new expansion, battle pass. I don't know what you call it. The new loot box method where you repair a superior game console. The new building mechanic, yeah. I'm sure you'll all be so surprised, but I have never, ever played Fortnite. I actually don't know anything about it. Other than what popular media has shown. It would have to be some real popular media, because I don't watch movies and stuff. Mostly. Okay. It's all looking good. No shorts. All looking good. No shorts. Okay, 2 left, and they should be pretty darn easy. So we got the small one, and we got the big one. See, Dark Shadow, my favorite thing is I actually had watched a review of Fortnite back when it was a, like, base defense kind of thing. And then I was really confused when all of a sudden, and I knew that that's what it was. I was like, okay, that's what that game is. And then I was really confused when all of a sudden it was just cartoon PUBG. It's like I completely missed the memo. All right, the polarity is not as well marked, but it is marked on this one. Confirm 35, 47, 35, 47. Okay. Suspect I can just pop this one off. Yeah, oh, my gosh, that couldn't have been any easier. Eight. People forget the Battle Royale was a side mode originally. It's funny in a way. Yeah. Gas teammate. Work knife, yeah. All right, one down. Absolute cakewalk. Remove this capacitor. Not as easy to replace if you're being as lazy as I am and don't want to get the solder bolt involved. But it still works. All right, what do we think the chances are these actually work first try? I think it's pretty high. It's not a particularly complicated build, and I've been checking the polarity a lot as I go along. And I don't think I've ever powered a device with a capacitor in backwards, famous last words, but these should be good. We have one more cap on each one of these. That's why I'm starting to look towards the finish line here. Again, I have no idea what is involved with the GD EMU replacement, so I am going to have to look that up. Negative inside on the reference photo, and then negative upper left here. All right, last one, the big one. Probably also just yoink. I might walk this one out, actually. Makes a little more sense. Yep. All right. That one either had glue or flux or leaked. I'm not sure. It looks kind of like glue, which being giant makes sense. see, if there's glue on this one, then it was glue, because they're different brands. But if there's nothing on this one, then the other one may have leaked. There's glue on this one. Okay, so they probably just glued them down. So that other one may have been glue as well. Out of curiosity, are these identical in value? 200 volt, 100 UF, 200 volt, 100 UF. Yes. Sometimes you'll see minor differences in values on parts. So these should be 220 volt, 100 UF. Yes. Game type was dead on arrival for me. Yeah. It's just multiplayer games in general for me aren't. Yeah. Could you reform the caps you remove to see how bad they are? I could, but not here. But generally on these smaller total power caps, it's really hard to get a feel for the condition of the caps with reforming. That's why you just do capacitance and ESR. Because it does not take a lot to charge these or form them. This one might be a little tall. I think there's space, though. In that case, it'll be fine. Negative upper left. Yep. Negative upper left. Yep. And I'm all good. All right, that should be it. Watch, one of the drives will stop working now. Or this will change the power characteristic of the power supply slightly, and then the GDE moves won't be compatible with these units. All right. I'm going to look these over compared to my reference photo just to make sure everything looks good. And then I'm going to pop them in, see what happens. Okay. Top right goes to upper left. Okay. Middle goes to right. Yep. Then bottom row, right, right, left. Right, right, left. Okay. And then it is facing above the power connector. Yep. And then towards the bottom on the last one. Yep. Those should all be good. All right. Let's pop them in and see what happens. I'm going to take this iron and I'm going to put it up out of the way. There we are. Now we get to see the majesty of how easy it is to install a Dreamcast power supply. Actually, you know what? Let me look at all my soldering to make sure there's no shorts first. It's one of those, that's a free check. That's very simple. Yep, that one's good. That's backwards. And that's basically it. We look at the other one. Caps up a little high, but so are the originals. Nothing there. Good, good. Good, good. Good. And good. Okay.
2 raiders from Gettle have joined. End of line.
Hello and welcome. We are just wrapping up recapping these Dreamcast power supplies. I'm about to turn them on for the first time ever and make sure that they are working. These two Dreamcasts had iffy optical drives, and I retuned them, and they were working well. So if they don't work after this, I won't be too surprised, but I'm going to be replacing them with GD emus in a moment anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Factory molded 5 1/4 inch plates go in the FLP retro tower case. Ooh, nice. All right. It didn't blow up. Okay. And we have video. What's up? Okay. Let's pop in a disc, make sure that still works. I'm just going to power cycle it to get it to boot it. No explosions, you want a refund? Yeah. Oh, that's the best sound. Fan spin? Fan is spinning. Or all the blades have been torn off. One or the other. And that's working. I can't be any happier than that. All right, let's try the other one. Dude, I can't believe all of the drives worked. I feel a little bad that I'm about to replace the drives, but what can I do? I tried to find some that were bad. They just all are so darn good. Okay. Here we go. Not blowing up. Is working. All right. Gonna restart it so it'll boot. Now you have spare drives the next time one dies? Yeah, I am kind of thinking about that. These are not compatible with the VA2. That's going to be my main disc-based unit, though. But I do have 2 VA2s. Oh, come on! You don't really need the clock set, do you? You just want to play the game. Come on. Dreamcast. Yeah, beep. I know, you like batteries and whatever. Okay. And yeah, it works. Okay. What's my favorite Sega game? Sonic Adventure 1. If you replace all the drives, this thesis is Dreamcast. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's still going to be a Dreamcast after this. Besides, the drives are just going in a box. They're not going away. All right. Dude, this has gone so fast. I cannot believe it. Okay. Power this off. Let's yoink the batteries. And then figure out how the optical drive replacement works. But an Ethernet adapter to get net time automatically would be so nice. It would, but I don't want to have to buy Ethernet adapters. Okay. Live Dreamcast repair, what an interesting stream. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it. That is what I'm going for here. Something interesting. Once dumped driving them all, GameStop got 10 or so Dreamcasts, made 2 functional ones out of them. I'm looking at 9 of them around me right now. But that's just because I have a problem. I bought all of those. Okay. I don't know if we're gonna need the power supply to be removed for this next step or not. So I'm going to leave those for now. The controller ports are really easy to remove to get this battery out, but I might also just stick the soldering iron to the side and just yoink that, but we'll see. You have a problem, you said it normally, we say, yeah. Saying you have Virtua Fighter? Oh, that's Virtua Tennis. I am not sure. Oh, dude, Tony Hawk Pro Skater, what's up? I don't know if it was this or the 32X ad Virtua Fighter. I'm genuinely... I don't know, because fighting games aren't my forte. Oh, I saw Crave and I got excited. This is another not way break. Okay. Let me look up the GD Emu. Okay. One moment. Just do... Oh, that... Hey, look, it's the stream stuff. And here it is. Okay. So, you want to say it was Saturn? Oh, yeah, I forget there was something in between. I even own a Saturn. Okay, confirm VA model by the 3.3 volt. Yep, I did see that on there. It was kind of spooking me because I thought it was a 5 volt that we needed. Okay, so you yoink this apart. Oh, fancy pants. I think that's the Ethernet one. Yeah, show off with your Ethernet adapter. Okay, take out some screws. Hopefully it doesn't have to be PAL. I should probably not speak so direct into the microphone. Okay, we take out that. Yoink, sad, empty Dreamcast bay, and then we just stick it in there. That's it? Really? Oh. Well, that was easy. I think this is... Wait, what? Optional, but recommended. With GD-ROM, the 12-volt rail powered is no longer having draw on it, so it can output up to 14 volts, causing your Dreamcast get very, very hot and may shorten the lifespan of the components. Uh... Okay. Okay, this is what people hate about the GD Emu, is trying to make it work with stuff. Twisting through resistors that even save. I don't like any of this. No, I would not call this safe. Do not do this. Yeah. We're gonna go ahead and not. I've never heard of a power supply running hot because it doesn't have a load. Yeah, this could not be... It's just dummy loading the PSU. Yeah, but that's like a dummy solution. All right, let's just try popping them in, see what happens. Okay. Dummy load in very sense of the word. Yeah, you know, you get it. All right. Interesting. Okay. I'm really glad that the recap worked out so well. How does this come out? Well, I got the iron kind of ready. You know what? Let me remove this. It'll give me a slightly better angle on the backside, and then I think I can just pop those off while I'm in here. Okay, so long story short, 3 screws. Boom, you're out. That's all we're doing here. Are those 3 1-ohm resistors? I don't know. I didn't look at it. Hopefully not. Phone, yo, focus correctly here? Maybe? Is that? I can't tell. I don't know. Maybe it is. Dude, Crazy Taxi is so good. Oh my gosh. And the Dreamcast version has the right soundtrack, which is just smash. I didn't realize we took off that, too. That explains why the VA2s are different, though. Because I don't know that they have that. I also didn't know it was made by Samsung. That's interesting. It's the bigger screwdriver. Oh, the bigger one is MIA. It's a minor problem, because that one wants to be a pain. Oh my gosh, I'm just blind. Got it. GD Umos only fits in revisions. Check compatibility. So these are VA1s. They should be fine. Oh, bigger was not the answer. Okay. Flat blade it is. Oh my gosh. Doing that then, huh? Yeah, I don't know what the phone's deal is here. Hold on. Focus, and then I don't know. There we go. It's not like you guys want to see the stream. Okay, 1 second. Let me get the screw out, and then I will mess with it. There we go. I wanted to see I'd put my glasses on. Exactly. Okay, then we just yoink. That's it. Why is this so easy? Okay. GD Emu. Oh, should I got SD cards? Oops. Okay, I got a fancy one with a thing that you go with. I don't know how this works. So, there's some stuff. Am I gonna have to add, like, standoffs? How does this work? Okay, SD extender, and then a whole bunch of stuff that just falls all over. Okay. Standoffs. And some other things. Why did it not come with instructions? It feels like that would have been useful. Oh, great. They added an electrolytic capacitor. Hopefully working spare drive in the unit that stays being able to read optical media. No, because the drives are incompatible. But it doesn't really matter. So. Alright, so this is a 520.5 version. They just kind of plug it in. And then this is, here's another screw. Jeez. Okay, let me look at the eBay listing. Maybe there's directions included on that. You don't remember which version yours was? It was the wrong one? It might have been a later VA2. That's the most likely one. It is possible you had a VA0, which is not quite incompatible. You can adapt it, but it's not fun. Okay, yeah, they don't really have directions on the eBay page. Do they link to them? Disconnect all cables, detach modem, remove screws, hold console by sides both hands. Now this is terrible descriptions. And installation guides. Okay, cool. Sure. Looks like they normally come with like ATX or AT standoffs that go on the sides. Oh! Wait, do you attach it to this? Oh, well that makes a little more sense. And then the one standoff probably goes through here to screw into that. So this probably threads here. Okay, please don't roll under the power supply. That's how you get explodey things happening. Okay, I think I get it. So we get the extension. We take this. We put it in here. Then which way we put it in also kind of matters, although it looks like it has to be that way. And then this plugs in like this. And then we mount this somehow. Is that a slot for just a spare SD card? That's so weird. This what? What? Yeah, this was making sense up until this point. That doesn't go in any farther. But it kind of seems like it should. Maybe not. Oh, let me grab the other one. Yeah, grease weasels are dirt cheap. They're so useful. I cannot recommend them enough. They are the single best piece of hardware you can buy for working with vintage computers. Without a doubt. Is there a stream yesterday? There was not, unfortunately. I had technical issues. No, that goes in the same depth. Okay, weird. Plug this in like that. And you can't do that, because then it won't plug into the motherboard. So it has to go in like that. But when it goes in like that, it's going to collide with the thing. Well, this doesn't want to go in either. There we go. Oh, it's just super tight. Oh, delightful. Okay, well. All right. So these go here. These go down in there to retain the SD card slot. No instructions. Nope, nothing. No paper at all. Just plastic bits. I'm going to assume there's a YouTube video somewhere you could watch, but I'm currently in the process of making the YouTube video here, so I can't watch someone else's. That would just be rude. So, guessing it is. Pretty sure I got it figured out here, though. So now, it would be like this. Yeah, that'll work. Tighten these up. Then we Have one extra screw? That seems weird. There's a button. I don't know what that does. All right, so this goes there, and then it actually seems kind of nice. So with a top on, that's pretty jamming. So there's a reset button, SD card plugs in there, spare SD card because I guess. All right. Oh, that's what the extra screw's for. It goes up to the back too. Nope, no extra screw. Completely intentional screw. It's just better design than I anticipated. All right. Yeah, well, let's pull that battery. Soldering on the battery will go well, right? What is this thing? Grease Weasel? No, this is a Sega Dreamcast. And that is a GD-EMU. Optical drive emulator. So that you don't have to use the original. Does this work? Maybe not. Yeah, it works. There we go. Okay. Oh, this is going to be rough. There's two on this side. Change of plans. I still have everything for the BJC, yes. It is all at my office, though. All right, I have no idea what this is going to do when we power it, so let's find out. Probably going to complain a whole bunch. Need 90-degree flush cutters? Yeah, that would have been handy there. We'll actually plug it in. Thing. I'm curious if it'll have like a menu or something that'll just say, please insert an SD card. Or what? All right, and please insert game disc. Ruh-roh, Raggy. So it plays. It will load the menu of games. Yeah, I can. Not sure when that'll happen. But I can try to do that. Yeah, that doesn't plug in anymore over there. Maybe I hit the button? Maybe it needs a memory card. So presumably it's working. I mean, it's getting power. It doesn't mean it's working. Let me give it a bad SD card. Button. Okay. Put the lid back on your Dreamcast, turn it over, corner, you can slide the modem back in. Maybe firmware is loaded directly from SD card. Oh, that would make sense. Okay. Okay, official site for GDEMU. So, supported image types, blah, blah, blah. Installation. So, the SD card needs to be FAT32 for one. Doesn't like micro SD cards, only work reliably full size. Oh, that shouldn't really matter. Somewhere around here, I should have a Micro Center 30 gig SD card. Yeah, one. Probably has just audio from a video on it. Delete it. What does immortal mean in this sense? So I'm trying to make a Dreamcast that is as solid state as I possibly can, so I don't have to worry about it, because the optical drives are not known for being super reliable, although 9 out of 9 of mine worked. No files came with the emulator. I did not get a anything with it. All right, hold on. One moment. Look at the phone while I open this up. See what's on here. Big data is SD card. Maybe it's. I mean, it's not. Don't read anything into it so far. Nothing important has happened yet. Okay, what are these photos? Don't think I need these. Should have imported these already.
JJDB210 subscribed at Tier 1. They've subscribed for 47 months, currently on a 47-month streak, and says no. End of line.
No! JJ, thank you for the Tier 1 sub, and for 47 months. I appreciate that. I mean, I guess there's some okay stuff on this SD card. I mean, like, there's this picture I took of some place. I don't know. Just some smudges on the lens, probably. I'm just going to make a copy of these files real quick, like, and then we can wipe this card. Probably not that much. Hold on. Normally, I've set up the SD card, game image, or set of files, as with most emulators. I have no idea. I know nothing. I almost know nothing about this. So I'm just going to put a 32 gig card in there, which is like perfect size. Should be very happy with it. Okay, installation, ability to operate PC, okay. Dreamcast, okay, screws, SD card, remote. If you got a remote PC with GDEMU, need to assemble it yourself, 2 tact button. Well, I don't know what the deal is with that. Oh, you can do XBMC, like a little display in the front. Oh, nothing for legal reasons? If you own your own games, it's legal to do whatever you want. I mean, Liquid Dreamcast dragging down the reliability average. Yeah. Okay, installation. Do not turn the Dreamcast on upside down. GBD EMU inserted if it's not being held down by a screw. Yeah. Okay. But, like, how do I do the software? I feel like it should have worked. Make sure your Dreamcast VA1 model. Yeah. Okay, hold the phone's both sides. Lift Dreamcast remote cover. Your screws. Search GD in place of the drive. Maybe it'll only work if it can try and read the SD card. Maybe that's what it is. All right, files backed up. I don't understand why people think it's a pain in the butt to set up the card. I'm guessing that the cards work kind of like the iOD, where it needs to be sequential. The files, they cannot be fragmented. So that's my best guess. Okay. Let's see. Piece of software, GD EMU SD card maker. Successfully used GDI files. Must be in folders and CDI files. I haven't tried any others. Besides the show, have you seen? I don't have anything Dreamcast. If you have a few cartridge jumpers, ooh, that's cool. Probably need GD EMU SD card maker. I'm looking at that right now. I guess I can bring this back up. I'm looking at that right now. I mean, that's not going to run too great on Linux, I suspect, but what exactly does this do? Free space after? Yeah, so this absolutely must be used. The GUI won't let you format 64 gig cards. It's FAT32. I mean, that's not going to be a problem for me, but it might be good. I can look in that, I guess. Hold on, I'm just going to plug the card back in so it's not mounted. 13 releases. Let's see. Is there a Linuxy one? There is. Okay. Sure. Why not? We can give that a shot. I'm sure this is a great idea. Actually, that's all fine. Okay. Wow, that's it's a lot more DLLs than I'm used to seeing for a Linux program. Uh Great dump. Mono? Ugh, maybe. What's the actual binary in here? Tools, GD menu, ip.bin, open menu. Oh, I think this is important. Like, I think we need that. Yeah, that sounds familiar. Um, Card manager. Okay, hold on. So copy. Time for good ideas to happen. Running random stuff from the internet. Oh yeah, SD drive. Yeah, rescan. Let's run random software from the internet as root. Oh yeah. Yeah, you guys can't see anything. La 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 la. Okay, SD drive. It still can't find it. What? Maybe I should mount it? Refresh? Oh, that's not good. Okay. Sure. GD menu? Sure. Okay, well now I kind of don't want to do it as root.
Time for another good idea, bad idea, by your command.
Chloe, thank you for the 100 bits. Okay, let's try it as not root. Okay, that still works. Temp folder. I don't know what we're doing with that. Okay, add a thing. This console. Don't look at this. That'll work. Don't worry about that part. Save? Menu not selected. Okay, hold on. Yeah. The GD menu, I guess. Save. Save changes? Yes. Oh, it looks like it's super weird how you do it. Oh, yeah, no wonder people hate this. Huh. Figured out 99% certain what was wrong with your project box's SSD, main controller IC failing in a way that sometimes let the machine read from it, not do more than the bootloader. Oh, that's super weird. This is not fast. Done. Okay, let's see what we get. Eject. All right. Back to this. Pop the card out. Put the card in. Turn the thing on. Beepity beep beep. And the light's not red anymore. That's normal because there's no... that just booted. I think this might work. Hello, what's up? Okay, this is awesome. This rocks. I love this. Yeah, that's super cool. BS1 confirmed. Oh, is it copying it like that? That's awful. It was DDing over like that. Ugh. Sweet. Okay, we're going to get to the main menu for this one because I suspect this is going to exhibit a weird thing, and I'm curious if anyone here knows why, because I've never looked into it. All right, we're just going to get to the menu. And... yeah. This has, like, super crunchy, weird drums.
Select a memory card.
Okay. Question. Did someone re-encode the audio so it fits better? Is that what happened? Awesome. Okay, let's fly through the second one real quick. Let's GD emu the other drive. We got time. A win tastes like prime ribs? Yeah, no, this is great. I'm very happy with this. That image is just bad? Okay. I will, re-rip my game later then, yes. Alright, this one's ready to go into service. I'm probably going to clean it a little more first. Oh, I need to put screws into the power supply, too. I'll clean it more first, but let's just do the other GD-ROM real quick-like, and then we're ready to go. That one screw is just a pain. Why 2 SD card slots? One is literally just there to hold an empty spare card or something. I don't get why. It is weird. Also, I like how it came with screws to put the GD Emu in when the drive is held down with screws. Like, you didn't need those. I mean, if you're going to spend the time to injection mold it, I mean, that's a free feature to add. You might as well. Is it necessary? No. Am I ever going to use it? Probably not. But do I like it being there? Kinda. It's nice not just have it be completely flat. Alright, and then weirdly, you just unplug it. Alright, and then we'll remove the battery in the totally normal way that you're definitely supposed to. Snip. Hopefully without cracking the LED. Later on, if I really feel like it, I can replace this with a different battery, but this one was never, ever going to be useful again, as is. The drive lid won't close properly if there's an SD card in the spare holder. That's hilarious. Probably, because it looked like it did stick out a lot. All right, let's assemble the second one. We got one of them. We got one of these. We got some of this stuff. That absolutely looks like the kind of thing that ne'er-do-wellers use in the bathroom. Put battery unit in the... Put a battery in the unit you're gonna give away? Nah, I like... Oh... You don't just have to reach down into the abyss to push the reset button. It came with a big, giant button thing. Oh! Well, I guess I'm taking the thing out of the other one and putting that in. Okay. Oops, yeah. Well, you know, it would have been nice. Instructions. That would have helped, maybe. Alright. Pop this in. Get the screws in. Hold that down. Battery, so your relative doesn't dismiss the clock every time they turn it on. Yeah, but then they'll be fine with it. Pretty sure, like me, they would rather not have a ticking time bomb in there. Ba-doom. Be honest, would you have read the instructions? I actually would have read the instructions, yes. Especially with how non-obvious this was, how it went together. Possible to get a legit one. The guy sells once in a blue moon, they're always instantly gone. Yeah, this was just eBay. Random seller. I did get legit SD to SNES FX Pack Pro and EverDrive X7 through Stone Age Gamer. It was nice to be able to do that. Especially the FX Pack Pro. Those clone GD moves. How much did they go for? I think they were like $90-some. That was already within the US and came with the brackets and stuff. I really like that the brackets are injection molded, not just 3D printed. That was a big part of why I went with these. What version are they? 20.5. 525. Supposedly the ones that fix whatever, like, one random compatibility issue there was with the, like, translated fan game or whatever. I don't know. To play Sonic Adventure and Sega Bass Fishing, I'm happy. Please make it possible to acquire. Yeah. I do think it is hilarious, though, that the SD to SNES ran into... The button is being constantly held down because it's applying too much pressure. That's not well designed. There we go, I guess. Hopefully that's not an issue. Alright. Well, it's an ODE. It's only through cryptocurrency. Yeah, that's a big pass. Easiest pass ever. Alright. Last screw. Kinda. The power supplies aren't screwed in. I'm gonna have a little bit of off-stream finalizing work to do, but it'd be nice to know that both of these work on stream to have all the success here. Come on. There we go. Okay. Pop the lid on. Laser bad? Not anymore. Why is it not fitting? I think it's this, actually. Ah, there we go. All right. Video hour. Video capture. SD card. Console. Best startup sound ever? No, I don't. Sanity? Absolutely not. No. All right. You're totally saying this one, aren't you? What do you mean? Is there a difference? I mean, they both need cleaned. I'm just going to leave them apart so I can clean them later. And I think we're good. This feels like a rigged stream. Like, we exactly finished everything I wanted to finish in the time that we had allotted down to the minute. That's done. Boom. I don't know what this does. Let's find out. Dropped one of these already. Mine doesn't get used for disk-related reasons. Ah, that sounds perfect. Okay, let's see if this reboots to the menu. I suspect it will. I desperately want to reuse the open button to do this instead, so I don't have to push this, then that. That's dumb. But there we go. Boom. Let's put a spare card in here and see what happens. It worked. Sweet. Well, yeah, GD. I love the VMU, custom VMU stuff, just amuses me. That's awesome. That's so cool. All right, well, let me hide that, do this, and do this. That's going to be it for today.
Of utter sheer success in this stream is frankly concerning Tier 101. End of line.
No kidding. That was weird, the amount of success we just had. Yeah. Home is where the luck is. Oh, man, that's going to suck for the deck writer to have to work on it there. Yeah, so that ended up working out great. All right. That is going to be it for today, though, so I should run the outro. I'm going to clean up the cases on these things, so I'm going to do that off stream where I can do them in like a sink or something so that they're nice and pretty. But yeah. So tomorrow both door handles will fall off. Yeah, so for those of you not in the Discord server, I went to go put something in my van, and one of the sliding door handles just ripped right off. Yay! New cameras at home are so much better, aren't they, though? Oh my gosh, it's so much better. It's ridiculous, yeah. Same thing for, boom, this one too. Ow, they're both the same camera. But yeah, what does this mean for tomorrow? Tomorrow we should be doing Deck Writer 3 stuff. So I will be getting a flat wrench in this evening, probably really late. Tomorrow morning I'm going to grind it down till it fits on the print head solenoid nut, and then I'm just going to take it to the office. I'm not going to try and remove that here, so we'll find out on stream at the same time how it's going to go. So I am going to go over here, though, so I can actually read chat as we wrap this up. But yeah, so that's going to be it. So we're beating up eyes on microphone, yeah. So actually, I got foam socks for this microphone. They don't exist. They were never offered for this, so this is just a random Shure one that happened to fit, because for one, bonk happens, but also when I have the fan on, it causes issues. Anyway, yeah, this was awesome. I had a lot of fun today, so I'm glad that all worked out. If you enjoyed this stream, you may want to follow to be notified when I go live again next. If you want to help support the channel, you can find me on Patreon or get a shirt like the ones I wear when I'm at the office. Not this one. This one benefits the zombie corporation that is Atari. But that is it for now, and I will see you all next time. Oh yeah, the printer button. And there.